Even nonpartisans, even people very opposed to Nancy Pelosi politically, concede that she has been one of the most effective speakers of the House in modern history. And when you separate out her track record from that of the 111th Congress as a whole, her raw effectiveness really does jump out at you. Under Pelosi, the House has passed all of the major planks of President Obama's first-year legislative agenda. They passed the stimulus, they passed the budget, they passed the health reform, they passed cap and trade, they even passed Wall Street reform. The Senate, however, is another story. The Senate is like a never-ending busy signal over there. Nothing gets through. As we have reported before, at least 290 pieces of legislation passed by the House of Representatives this Congress, including some big ones, are still sitting in the Senate awaiting action. There's nothing Speaker Pelosi can do about that. But she has made known her frustration with the broken Senate. In our interview today, the Speaker may have gone farther than she's ever gone in saying that she wants the Senate to get its act together. We were in this room, I think, about a year ago, the last time that we sat down. And at that time, you had just passed the stimulus bill with 0 Republican votes. And you said at the time that that strategy by the Republicans, they came off poorly by using that strategy. And we didn't know then whether or not they'd keep using that strategy. And they really have. So a year later, do they still come off poorly for using that strategy, or has it been smart? Has it made you have to be very adept strategically in order to get around them?
Well, all I know is what we do. I think that the poster child for the Republican strategy is Jim Bunning. It proves that 99 senators are not enough. Mm-hmm. Even one senator can hold up unemployment insurance checks, can have people be put out of work or working on the highway system and the rest of that, because one senator has decided to stand in the way. I don't think that has served the Congress well, or the American people. I don't think the American people are served well by the obstructionist tactics of the Republican senators. 60 senators on every possible initiative. Senator Reid, Leader Reid, ends up having the votes, but he doesn't have the time to get around to much more legislation because of all the procedural tactics that are necessary in terms of 60 votes.
Because of the rules of the Senate, there has been so much attention on what it takes to get things through the Senate right now. But meanwhile, you in the House have passed roughly the entire presidential agenda, all of the major components of it, while Republicans are still pursuing this unified no on everything strategy. So what are the challenges to you? What is the strategy that you approach in order to try to get things passed with 0 Republicans on everything major?
Well, we did have Republican votes on the energy and climate change bill. We had a few there. Actually, a large number of the votes that are sitting on the Senate side to be passed over 70% of them with a large number of Republican votes. What you really hear most about are the more controversial pieces of legislation, those that are really the pillars of the Obama agenda. The recovery package, the president's budget, his initiatives on education, on energy, climate change, and on health care, which are the 3 areas: energy, education, and innovation together, and healthcare, the 3 pillars of how he wants to stabilize the economy, create jobs, bring down the deficit, lower taxes for the American people around this job-creating agenda.
On the matter of the House and the Senate, as you said, hundreds of pieces of legislation have passed the House, stalled in the Senate. When Senator Schumer said this week that the Senate Rules Committee in the next 2 or 3 weeks is going to have hearings on Senate rules for maybe changing the filibuster rules, Senator Reid, after having expressed some skepticism about it before, says, looks like we're likely going to have to change the Senate rules. I know that you're not in the House and you're not in the business of giving them advice on their rules, but is that a relief to you to hear them say that?
Well, let me say this. The problem, the rules of the Senate are one thing, and I won't comment on that. Sure. I don't invite their comments on our rules either, so even Stephen. But the problem has sprung from the obstructionism of the Republican senators, and I don't think we should take our eye off the ball. It's the rules which enable them to do that, but it is their decision to stop the Obama agenda by making everything have to have 60 votes. Now, you could be respectful of using it with care and in certain circumstances, but for every initiative, you are really in a dilatory fashion of stopping an agenda. And they know that the president's success is important. And they also know that what the president wants to do is end business as usual as it is conducted in Washington, D.C., where the special interest, the agents of the status quo, spend endless money to keep it to hold us back from the future, and the president has a vision to take us there that he's described to us so many times. And the president has said more eloquently than anyone that we will measure our success by the progress being made by America's working families. We believe this health care bill is important to that. The difference between the Democrats and Republicans on that subject is in helping American families make progress. We want to regulate the insurance industry. The Republicans do not. They'll do anything to protect their friends in the insurance industry, and that's what this is about. So, yeah, they can talk about their rules and the rest, and that would be good, because I think that it's shameful that one senator, Senator Bunning, was able to, as I said earlier, 99 senators are not enough, that one senator could cause so much damage. So, again, I wish them well in their review of their rules. But I think the American people have to make a judgment about the obstructionism of the Republican senators.
There is more to hear from Speaker of the House Nancy Pelosi tonight, including her position on accountability and the Bush administration, something that no one really wants to talk about in Washington anymore, but I do. Her response ahead, including her answer when I ask if she regrets not having pursued the impeachment of President Bush over the Iraq War. Plus, Connecticut's Democratic Senator Chris Dodd thought that he could hammer out a finance reform bill with Republican Senator Bob Corker. Today, another beautiful dream of bipartisanship ends with someone waking up screaming in a cold sweat and vowing to never try that again. That's next. Stick around.